When is it okay to say shut up, especially when it comes to our children? I learned another lesson a couple days ago or yesterday. I was in the store with my wife, just looking at some things to purchase. It's the Christmas season, and I saw a young man with three children under his care. A young boy in his arms. He held them close, and there was two other children, two girls who were behind him. But there was one in particular. There must have been some toy somewhere that she really wanted, and she kept on whining and nagging, and it was so loud. It was so loud. She wasn't screaming, but it was loud enough to know that she really wanted this toy. So, I didn't think it was gonna last too long. So, I looked back, I saw this happening. I give my wife a look, and then we looked at each other and we said, okay. But this thing kept going on. It kept going on and on and on, and she kept telling me, I want, I want, I want, I want it. But the thing that surprised me the most was that he never told her anything. All he did was kept on walking. You know, the other two children, they were quiet, at least this time. I don't even know. But he just kept on walking, and he kept on walking. And me and my wife, we walked a distance away from them in the store. We were just walking around. And I was still hearing her nagging and bothering her father. And then just some things came to me, you know, just as men and as fathers. Just a few things came to me, like we have been taught to be quiet. I don't know exactly who the teacher is. I don't know why he was just he didn't even think or even attempt to even correct her. Say, hey man, just stop. He didn't use the word stop, you know, or just be quiet, or no, or not now. He just allowed her to badger him. And I'm wondering, like, was he taught this? And I'm starting to believe that that's something that I even had to even understand and recognize in my journey as a father and as a husband. Sometimes we think being quiet is peace, but it's 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 a like sometimes it's a it's a sign of cowardice. That's something that I had to come to terms with, even with myself. Being quiet doesn't mean peace. Sometimes being quiet is just being a coward. And it was just I was looking at my wife because it was such a foreign thing for me and my wife to see the child being so demanding and the parent not correct them. It was so strange, you know. And earlier that day, we were we were somewhere else, and I was sitting down, and then there's a lady who was sitting down smoking a cigarette. I never met her before, but there was another child having another tantrum somewhere else in another store, and 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 me and the lady, we started to talk about, man, that couldn't be us. And the lady said something that I found so familiar, and I heard from my mother. My mother would says, you better be quiet, or I give you something to cry for. Or she would ask you, you want something to cry for? And that worked. And I told the lady this, and I realized that the older generation was braver. They had more courage when it came to children. The older generation understood that children have to be trained. They don't have to be tolerated. It seems like that's what they want to believe. Like children have to be tolerated. No, they have to be trained because if left to their own devices, they will burn this place down. But for some reason, people think that children are innocent and are naturally just good. No, they're not. They're not innocent. They're ignorant of the law. They're ignorant of the way the world works. And it's our job as moms, dads, parents, and the community to actually let them know. We have to teach them to be good. Bad comes easy for them. Sometimes you might get a couple children who are a little easier to deal with, or even, I guess, they might be sneakier. But we have to teach them to be good. But for some reason, when I watch this guy, he was walking around with the boy in his arm and the other one walking behind him. Somehow he's been taught and duped into just being quiet, and everyone around just kind of like, this is normal. This is not normal, especially for the older generation. They know what it took. School of hard knocks, literally and physically, metaphorically. Amen. And nothing through, like, I'm wondering if we've been silently castrated because I don't know if the women are just running over us, or we're allowing the woman to lead when she shouldn't be leading with certain areas. I guess certain things that she's not better to lead with. I guess it depends on the person too. But for the most part, we've been castrated. It's almost like our balls been cut off. Afraid, walking in fear. It's okay to say shut up. Sometimes it's okay to say shut up, regardless of what people may tell you or what you may think, especially when it comes to your child, because you know the words "be quiet" sometimes don't resonate in their heads. You have to use the word "action." Man, shut up. And sometimes you're not gonna scream it. Just pull them close and say, hey man, shut up, man. I told you no, and this is the way it is. We we've been taught to be quiet. We've been silently castrated, and we've been taught to be led. I've seen it many times over this holiday break. My wife told me another story with someone else where a woman just knocked the guy down, just slapped his thoughts down. The mother asked the father about a suggestion about some clothing, and she just disrespected the man, and he just got quiet. Like we're used to being led, because we think quiet is peace, but silently we're actually we're actually angry. So when it comes to our children, man, especially when they're out of control, especially when they're out of control, it's okay to tell them shut up. You don't gotta scream me. You can pull them close and whisper it in their ear, and you don't have to be worrying about who's watching you. If you're in the street, it's okay to correct them in public. If they act up in public, you get corrected in public. You don't gotta fear anyone. You don't gotta fear the law. You don't gotta fear the police or anything like that. Correct them where it is, man. You have to take the chains back, take the reins back, and let them know you're not training me. I'm training you. It's okay to do it right there in public. And sometimes I even hear some parents say, I want to give my kids what I didn't have growing up. Let me tell you something. It's okay to give them some of the stuff that you did get growing up. Hard times, hard nose, hard, hard structure, hard discipline. It seems like some of us as dads, like we go to the extreme. We say stuff like, "Oh, I want to give them what I didn't have." Well, the stuff that you got made you who you are, and for the most part, I'm sure you're not a bad person. You learn some things, and the lesson that you learned that your parents taught you, you know that they're viable. So why won't you give it to them? Sometimes you got the stern talking to. Sometimes you got spanked. Sometimes you got grounded, and sometimes you got some hard words, and sometimes you were told, man, shut your mouth. This is not the time nor the place. I said no, and they meant it, and you had to suck it up. So for those who don't know, I had to learn this again. Just very, man, it's okay to say shut up to your children. Don't let the government, the police, or anybody else lie to you. I'm not saying say it all the time, but sometimes those are the only words that can get inside that hard head of them, that hard head that they have. Tell a man, shut up, man, and I mean it. Shut your mouth. Embarrass me here, and I'm gonna embarrass you here too. I'm in charge. You're not in charge. And remember that, and remind them of that. Remind them who you are. Remind them that you're the one who's raising them. They're not raising you.